Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make some charms. This is just something simple that I'm working on right now for an upcoming show. These little ice cream charms right here. They're pretty simple to make. First thing I'm going to want to do is make the cone. First I want to clean off my work area. I just use these really cheap tea trays that I found at a dollar store. They're easy to clean and flat. And I didn't have any cone colored clay, so I'm just using some leftover gold that I have from other projects, and it works well, and it's nice and shiny. Here's some of my clay. I'm going to roll it out a little bit. And my pasta machine that I use has, the setting is from, the largest number is set as 7. A lot of places I see people telling you to roll out to a 1, which is the thickest setting, but it's the opposite on mine, so whichever one is the thickest is what we're doing right now. I'm going to make some smaller cones later, and I'll want to make it a little thinner because they'll be a lot shorter. Now with gold clay, it's got little particles in it called mica powder, which gives it that real shiny color. But you can see also it's got some marbling from, because you can get 2 colors from it basically, whichever direction the powder is going. So if you want to make it nice and clean in one color, you can just keep rolling it through the pasta machine on one setting until it's all one color. Okay, and to get the texture that I have on here, I just used some texture sheets that I have. Where did I put them? Oh, here we go. I have all these texture sheets. They're from Macon's Clay. I think I got these on Amazon. And this is the one labeled Dot. I just thought it was the closest proximity I could get to a waffle. You could use anything you see around the house. If you use something else, like I saw one girl used a pencil holder because it had the shape of a mesh. But if you're going to do that, you might want to brush the item with a little water so that it doesn't stick to the clay and ruin your design. Now, when I use these sheets, I have a little difficulty because it's not that easy to get the pattern as full as it should be, so I use something to rub on it, and it has to be something that can't be graded down like this. I tried to use this, and this is just a clay handle I made for this tool, and it completely graded it down. So don't use like wood or something like that that can. I got this here at work. This is a cookie cutter I'm going to be using. These are actually clay cutters that I got. They're actually made for clay. But if you want some good cutters, you can check out the cake making section at the craft store. They have so much great stuff that can also be used with clay. Because I guess working with fondant is a lot like working with clay. Okay, now I can tell the pattern is all in there because I can see I can see it's all turning gold. So my pattern won't be weak. Alright. There we go. Okay, this is for the large cone. I'm using the size cutter. Just cut a few out. And then I can re-roll this and make some more later. Okay, and I'm working with Primo here. This is Primo Gold. If you're using Primo and for some reason you have to let it sit, you have to warm it back up or it's going to just crack on you. And you can warm it up with your hands. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Now I'm just taking this and rolling it at the bottom into a cone shape, not too hard, and then firming it up on the ends and squishing the end down there so that it's a nice cone shape. There we go. Okay. Sticking a little bit. Primo is really easy to work with because it holds firm and is not so quick to distort while you're working with it. If I have to do something that requires it hold a shape, I always use Primo. Plus they have a lot of great colors. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is bake these for only half the time because I'm going to rebake them later and I don't want them to get burnt. Okay, so bake this for about 10 minutes, which is half the time of normal cooking. You will have to figure out what your oven is capable of doing. The cones are cooked and hard. This one kind of came undone a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do this color because I need a few more of these. And what I did to get this color was I mixed a big block of Sculpey 3 white with a very small amount of cadmium red Primo, and got this nice like pink strawberry cherry-ish color. For the little dots in there, I wanted them to look more like cherries or strawberries, so I pre-baked these sticks right here, and I did them kind of small so that they would look round, and just cooked for about 10 minutes or so, not too long, and then I'll slice small pieces off and put them in there. Now for the chocolate chip one, you can see the chips look more blocky, and for that what I did was I made up some thicker rods like this, so that when you cut it up you have to cut it a little more in blocks than just slicing it off like that, so it's a little edgier. Okay. Now this is something I don't need to use Primo for, something like this, because it doesn't need to hold a specific shape like a pattern like this. what I'm going to need is a small piece of foil, like this, and I got this trick off of another YouTube user. And my little razor blade here, cut off a little bit, and a small amount like this. I'm going to make it smaller, warm it up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to make it into a cone shape a little bit just by rolling it on one end. You don't have to be real specific here, you just gotta... Okay, now that looks like it'll fit inside the cone. See if it'll fit. Now it needs to be a little fatter and shorter. Alright. So that looks like a good fit. I'm going to squish it down a little bit later. So I'm going to take it back out and just kind of mess it up a little bit so it doesn't look so precise. There. Stick that in there. And then the bigger scoop on top, just roll a ball. There we go.